Thanks, Luke, for the introduction. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you for taking that few minutes out for Rob as well. Like Luke said, my name is Nimmin. I teach people how to grow YouTube channels, make videos, and all types of other YouTube-related stuff. And today, I'm going to be talking to you about how you can leverage YouTube for any type of business. Now, I'm also a YouTube content creator, as he mentioned as well. Over the past year, I've added more than 100,000 subscribers to my personal YouTube channel, which in the education space, it's a pretty amazing feat. To put that into perspective, if I was standing in the middle of that football stadium, people would actually have to wait outside in terms of the numbers that I accumulated just in the last year in terms of subscriber base. Now, the cool thing about my channel is it gives me access to a lot of user data because of the services that I have built into my YouTube channel. So that becomes valuable because that lets me know, one, things that I can apply to my channel, but two, it also lets me know that specifically, you know, things that work for a vlog don't necessarily work for a gaming channel. Things that work for a gaming channel don't necessarily work for an education channel, and so on. And it gives me kind of like an overview of the things that typically work across the board, the things that don't typically work across the board. And that's the kind of information that I share with people on my YouTube channel, and some of that I'm also going to be sharing with you today. Now, in addition to me being a content creator, I also leverage YouTube for my business. To be specific about what it is that I do, one of the ways that I leverage YouTube for my personal business is I send people from my YouTube channel to my e-commerce store. Now, I also monetize my e-commerce store in 4 different ways. I have the actual store itself. I also have a membership area that's a recurring membership for people to join. I also have affiliate promotions that I do off of it, and I offer packaged design services that I outsource. So just what I'm doing right there, in a lot of cases, you know, in the Nomad community, like this would be enough for a lot of people. But on my channel, I currently monetize in 9 different ways. So one of the ways is that web store that I was just talking about. The second way is through consulting services. I have a few different types of services that I offer off of my channel. Another one is affiliate sales, merchandise, of course, in the form of t-shirts, coffee cups, you know, things like that. Uh-oh. And then, of course, there's crowdfunding, which is basically where people say, you know, hey, I like your content. For an additional value, I would like to donate a monthly fee or something like that to what it is that you're doing. In addition to that, there's also email lists. Everybody in this room is digital nomads. I'm sure if you haven't heard it, that you are probably living under a rock somewhere, but the importance of having an actual email list so that you can, you know, stay in touch with the people that you are in contact with, extremely valuable. But, you know, I use that for the sake of marketing to people. YouTube ads, of course, is the smallest income that I have out of everything that you see listed here. YouTube ads is the least producing thing. So as a side note, with the news that just recently came out about YouTube, if you are a content creator for your business or for your, you know, personal stuff, they just announced that any channels under 1,000 subscribers are going to be demonetized. Don't let that freak you out, because the amount of money that you make on ads under, you know, that 1,000 subscriber limit is pretty low. So another way is through Super Chat, which is also donation-based. Super Chat is basically where, when I do a live stream on my YouTube channel, people can come to my live stream and they can give me money for, you know, to have a question answered. They can give me money for just to say thanks. You know, I have people give me from, you know, $2 to $300 just as tokens of appreciations for helping them via the information that I share on my channel. And then, of course, there's sponsored videos and sponsored shows, and then, of course, full channel sponsorships. One example of that is the live stream that I do every Saturday. It's called Nimmin Live. I do it with my brother, who is in the back of the room right there taking a picture right now. But we do Nimmin Live every Saturday, and that show is fully sponsored by a company called TubeBuddy. And the reason I wanted to show you this particular slide, this isn't really about me and the sponsorship that I get from TubeBuddy. This is one way as a business owner that you can use influencers to get what it is that you're doing in front of other people, in front of those audiences. So what you're going to learn today, we're going to talk about why YouTube is important for your business. We're going to talk about how YouTube can be a powerful tool for your business. We're going to talk about the different ways that you can use YouTube as a tool. We're also going to talk about how to make a channel for your brand. I'm going to give you a quick crash course on that. Also going to give you some YouTube ad secrets, some things that people don't commonly know about. Some people do, but most people don't. I'm also going to talk to you about how to work with influencers so you can get that exposure if that's the, the direction that you want to go. And then, of course, after that, we're going to do a Q&A as long as time allows. So what YouTube has done for me, in addition to the different ways that I monetize it, is it has basically turned into a machine for lead generation on my channel. So every single day when I wake up, I have an email box full of people that are wanting to work with me in different capacities. Either it's an opportunity that they're wanting to provide me for something, or they're wanting services directly, or they have a question about something else that I sell. So just on that side of it, it's made me somebody that's in demand where, a year and a half ago, I didn't have that because I wasn't leveraging YouTube. Another thing is it's transitioned me into a leader in my personal industry, in the YouTube help space, the video marketing space. And the cool thing about that is because it's transitioned me into a leader, that also opens up a lot of doors in terms of opportunities and things like that, which is really cool. It's also created a consistent, nonstop traffic source, and this is where the juice is. It's created a consistent, nonstop traffic source to literally everything it is that I do. So it doesn't matter if I open a website, if I have something that I promote, or whatever it is, it's a consistent flow of traffic to literally anything that I talk about, anything that I mention, which is pretty awesome as well. It's also helped me create a sizable email list that I mentioned earlier. It's created a community around my personal brand, and we're going to get into that here in a second, but the power that is just in that, having people out there advocating on your behalf. While you're out, while you're at a conference, there's people out there in the world that are recommending you to other people. Just the power behind that is amazing. And then the most awesome thing about all of this is it's been 100% organic. So I haven't spent a dime on YouTube ads for myself personally. I haven't spent any money at all to actually do this, to grow everything the way that it is. It's been 100% organic, and you can do the same. So there's a handful of reasons that YouTube should be a part of your strategy. And for that, I'm going to give you some deep information here as far as YouTube is concerned. They have over 1 billion users with hundreds of millions of people logging in there every day, consuming billions of hours of videos. So the cool thing about that is, just like anybody in here, when you log into YouTube, you expect to dedicate time there. You expect to watch videos, you expect to be there for a little bit. But when you're on like Facebook or any other platform, when you're there, video kind of happens to you, so it's an interruption to what it is that you're doing. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there. But on YouTube, people go there actually trying to solve problems, trying to get information, and if you put your business as the solution to those, it can be extremely beneficial for you, but we'll get more into that here in a bit. Mobile usage on YouTube alone reaches more 18 to 49-year-olds than cable TV. Now, that is just on mobile alone. That does not include desktop traffic. That does not include laptops. It doesn't include the people that are watching from gaming consoles and all of that. So just on mobile devices alone, more 18 to 49-year-olds than cable TV. Think of that, in terms of advertising. They're also growing 50% year after year. So even with other people, being rumored to be coming into the space, even if they come in and they start taking bites out of YouTube, it's still going to be there for at least a while. YouTube has been localized in 88 countries. And the reason that this is important is if you're doing anything internationally to where you're like, hey, I'm trying to reach out to, this particular market. I'm trying to reach out to people in Thailand, right? They have a localized YouTube here. Everything's in their language. They have their own stars. They have their own events and all of that stuff. And if you're trying to penetrate Thailand, then a fantastic way to do that would be through their influencers. So that's why that's important. Cisco announced that they forecast 82% of all internet traffic to be video by 2021. So basically this boat is built, they're putting the finishing touches on it, and it's going to be leaving the dock soon. So if you are considering getting on YouTube, now is a fantastic time to do it, because if not, then you're probably going to be like me. I regret not doing this 10 years ago, right? Because then things would be even better now. But you'll be like me to where you'll have that regret of, I should have done it now. So now we're going to talk about how YouTube can be a powerful tool for you. So the first thing I want to start with is parasocial interaction. Parasocial interaction is the idea behind when you watch a celebrity on TV and you watch that celebrity's character. You get to know that person. Like when Kramer walks in a room, you have a general idea, hey, this is what Kramer's going to do. It's going to be something funny. It's going to be something outrageous, right? And part of that is because you start to feel like you know that character. You feel like you get to know who they are. On YouTube, this gets amplified in a major way because people aren't just, they're not in their set, so to speak, talking to another character. On YouTube, if you're doing it properly, you're talking directly to the people that are watching your videos. So while you're out doing other things, basically YouTube is creating that relationship with you. And people start to feel like they know you because they see you over and over again. They keep coming back to your channel, and they start to feel like they're your friend. I was at a conference back in October called VidSummit, and I had tons of people coming up to me because it was a YouTube-based thing. Had tons of people coming up to me, and one of the first things that people would say is, one, you're a lot taller than I thought you were. Two, is they said that they feel like they know me already, or they feel like I'm a friend of theirs already, and that's because of parasocial interaction. Now, if you think of that from a business standpoint, in terms of that relationship building and getting that whole know, like, and trust thing going on for your business, I mean, that can be extremely powerful, and it's always working for you on your behalf. Another thing is YouTube can humanize your business because, everybody's out there trying to sell stuff, right? But when it comes to YouTube, you can also say, yeah, we're trying to sell you stuff. We're not trying to hide that. But we also have Sarah over here who does this particular position in our company, and she's going to talk to you every single week. She's going to put up a video on Monday answering questions about our particular products. So we're going to go live every Saturday or every Friday, and we're going to answer things directly related to the products or services that we offer, right? So it humanizes what it is that you're doing. Brand and product awareness, of course, through search discovery and shares. Where this is really important is with YouTube, if you optimize your content for search, and I know we've got some SEO guys in the house, but if you optimize your content for search on YouTube, if you do it properly, that video is going to be there working on your behalf for a very long time, essentially until somebody bumps you out of those particular places. So you can leverage that to keep bringing people into your content, which I'll get into a little bit more about that here in a bit. But as far as the shares are concerned, that also kind of falls under the parasocial interaction thing as far as people out there on your behalf, they feel like they know you, they feel obligated to share your content because they like what it is that you're doing and they like you, or whoever it is that you have as the face of your company on YouTube, and they want to support you, so they share your content, which basically spreads awareness about what it is that you're doing. Another thing is, you can really amplify all of this if you can think of some way to provide additional value that will keep people coming back to your brand channel if you decide to go down the road of creating a brand channel. Now, a great example of this is TubeBuddy, who I said sponsored my live stream, right? But a great example of this is they have a browser plugin, okay? This browser plugin is directly made or purposefully made for helping content creators learn how to rank their videos, manage their channels, and all of that stuff. So what they've done is, in addition to having tutorials on their channel, which they could have stopped there. It could have all been, hey, this is how you use our plugin. You want to do this feature, then you do this. You want to do this feature, then you do this. And they just have those kinds of tutorials. But what they did is they said, let's take this up a notch, right? We're trying to get content creators in here. So instead of just doing it that way, let's hire other influencers, have them come live stream on our channel once a week, and when that happens, they're going to just do an information dump to where they're going to educate content creators as well. So what they've done is not only have they positioned themselves as the #1 browser plugin for content creators, but they've also positioned themselves as a resource of education for anybody, their target demographic, that is creating content for YouTube. So that's a fantastic example of how to do it. In addition to that, you also have traffic, of course, sending direct traffic to your email lists, and you can send them from YouTube to your websites. You can get them pixeled and remarket to them elsewhere, and all of that stuff as well. Extremely valuable there. Search rankings, like I was talking about before, a lot of people think of YouTube as its own thing, right? Like, okay, well, if I rank a video on YouTube, then it's in YouTube. But YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Google's the first, and with Google, they're married, so to speak, right? It's the same company. So if you rank a video in YouTube, there's good chances that you can also rank that video in Google, Yahoo, Bing, and so on. So basically, when you optimize your content for search, it creates basically a property that you can put out all over the internet for the sake of search discovery. Of course, and this one is extremely important, it can also help create advocates for your brand. And the guy in the picture right here, his name is Peter Nez, Professor Nez. He's a professor. And he has my channel up in a slideshow in front of his class, right? I've talked to Professor Nez maybe 6 or 7 times on the internet as a direct message, right? Every other time it's been in like the comments of my videos or the comments in his videos because I watch his. So now we're going to talk about 3 main ways that you can leverage YouTube for your business. Here you have a brand channel, which is basically something that you create for the purpose of, you know, getting to know your audience and them getting to know you and your product and all of that stuff. You can also use YouTube ads, and then of course you can work directly with influencers on YouTube to where they promote your products, they mention your products, they wear your products depending on what it is that you're doing. So we're gonna start with a quick crash course on creating a brand channel. So if you're taking notes of any kind and you're considering going onto YouTube as a brand channel, now's the time to make sure that you have your notepad handy. So first, a brand channel, like I said a second ago, is essentially made for the purpose of putting up videos on a regular basis so people can get used to your content. They can get used to, you know, expecting something from you. You can keep re-exposing them to your brand and all of that stuff because you're putting up content on a regular basis. This is also what you're going to leverage in terms of trying to rank your videos for search and all of that. 3 great examples of this are Starbucks coffee, which everybody knows, GoPro, which everybody also knows, and Rode microphones. So the way that they manage the content on their channels is a fantastic example for you to look into. Look into them, look into TubeBuddy, and see what it is that they are doing in terms of how they're mixing their brand and the products that they have to offer into the other types of content that they have on their channel. Because a common thought is, well, if I have this particular product, if I'm selling clickers, then I need to just make a channel about clickers so that people are buying clickers. But you can go a lot more broad than that. A really great example of this, this is Alan Medcraft, right? Because like with the GoPro example with Starbucks, you know, they have these huge budgets and can pay people to create all this content on their behalf. But Alan Medcraft, he is a car detailer. He has a car detail shop in a small town in Scotland. Now, what he's done when he first started, just like, you know, any small business, and he's brick and mortar, and just like with any small business, he had to, you know, run a bunch of ads, and people would come in, and then he would have to sell them on his services and say, hey, you know, this is what we offer, and then barter on prices, you know, that sort of thing. Now, because he's leveraged his YouTube channel for his business, now Alan doesn't have to go out and look for customers. He doesn't have to spend any money on advertising. Even locally, he has people that come in. I mean, he's literally booked solid. He had to get like another bay and all that stuff for cars. But he literally has people come in and say, hey, I saw your YouTube channel. I love what it is that you're doing. I love how you're running the place. Clean my car. Like it's not even an option of price. It's not even a question of price. So basically, he's taken it from, hey, I'm out here grinding trying to get customers, to I don't have to do anything except upload videos to YouTube, and then people are coming in, you know, regularly. Now, another thing that he does, if you look up in the top right of that image, Alan also sells products. He sells products via his web store. They are supplies for auto detailing. Now, the thing about this is he started mentioning these in his videos. Because in his mind, hey, you know, I do this stuff, I sell these things locally, but he didn't even think that, hey, maybe this could turn into something bigger. And what happened is he started showing these things in his videos, and people started reaching out to him. Hey, Alan, I have a car detailer shop in Australia. I would love to use your products. I've been watching your videos for a long time, love what it is that you're doing, and I would love to actually start using your products in my shop. He has distributors reach out to him now because of his YouTube channel. Hey, love what it is that you're doing. Your stuff looks awesome. We want to distribute it for you, right? So now Alan has taken his local business, leveraged YouTube to actually turn it into a thriving local business on the side of the actual detail work that he does, and a global operation in terms of what he's done with his global distribution, I should say, in terms of what he does with his chemicals. So if Alan can do this, you can too. And as a side note, I also want to mention that this started happening to him at about 3,000 subscribers, and now he's up to like 7. But what he does on his channel, and I think it's important that I go over this too, is, again, he's not on there saying, hey, this is our chemicals. If you really want to clean your car, then you definitely want to get our chemicals. He's not doing that. What he's doing is he does vlog-style videos where he shows the behind the scenes. Hey, we're cleaning this particular car. This is what we're doing. These are, you know, the swirls that we had on here. Now, you know, we're able to work them out. This is the stuff that we use. This is everything. This is our whole operation. This is how we do it, right? He has those types of videos, and he has help content, which we're going to go into in a minute as well. And help content is basically to where he basically puts himself as the solution when people are actually searching for things on YouTube. So if somebody wants to learn, how do I clean a tire? There's a really good chance when they're looking around the internet, they're going to run into him, and then they're going to be exposed to his brand if there's somebody local, and then they're going to be exposed to his products if they are somebody that's international. So if you are considering doing this for your company, is everybody following along with me so far? Is all this making sense? Yeah, good, okay. So, so if you want to do this for what it is that you are doing, it's really important that you properly set your metrics for success. Because what a lot of business owners will do, and this is all the way across the board, from people that are doing coaching all the way up the line to Gillette as an example, right? So what happens is people associate YouTube with views and subscribers, right, which are basically vanity metrics. But if you have 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 views on a video, but they're not converting into sales, then you're doing the wrong thing. However, if you have 100 subscribers and you're getting, you know, 300 views on a video, but you're converting those views into sales, or, you know, other metrics, you know, that you would measure in terms of your business, then you would be able to gauge that as a success without those vanity metrics being attached. Because what you do not want to happen is you do not want to say, well, this video isn't going viral, so because it's not going viral, I shouldn't be doing this, right? You just have to make sure that you're doing it in a way that's actually converting viewers into fans or sales or going into your email list or whatever. So there's three main types of content that you want to focus on when you are doing YouTube. One is hero content, the other one is hub content, the other one is help content. Now, with the three different types of content, hero content is basically, in most cases, you put it online a little bit less because it takes a lot more work. In a lot of cases, it can take a small team, unless you're really creative. There's usually a lot more production that goes behind it, and in a lot of cases, you also put a little bit of ad spend behind it to really get some juice on it. A great example of hero content, if you've seen this video from Volvo, this is the Jean-Claude Van Damme video, to where they hired him. They did this whole thing to where, you know, he's cruising down on the highway to bring, you know, recognition to their brand, and they're cruising down the highway, and he's doing his famous splits, right? And this is a fantastic thing, and even though this cost a ton, I think this video right now has something like 88 million views on it or something like that. So think as far as people thinking about them, what an ad essentially like this has done for them. Another great example of this is Squatty Potty. So I don't know who has anybody in here seen Squatty Potty? Yeah? Yeah, okay. So the thing is with this is it was an expensive thing to produce. I had nothing to do with Squatty Potty, by the way, but I know one of the people that was behind it. It was a very expensive thing to produce. However, this put this company and their product on the map because it was such a ridiculous thing, right? It was a high production thing. They did put some ad spend behind it. They put it on YouTube. They put it on Facebook. They put it all over the place. But what this did for that company took them from, hey, we're doing okay, you know, things are great, to, wow, it's raining money, right? So if you do this properly, it can really make a big difference in what you're doing. So the other type of content is hub content. Hub content, in a nutshell, is basically the stuff that people can expect. So hub content is what people can expect when they come to your channel on a regular basis. So if you build everything properly and you get that value in there to where you do have repeat viewers coming to your channel so you can keep re-exposing them to your brand, the hub content is the stuff that they just learn to expect from you. The help content is where the real juice is. The help content is basically what will keep a long-term steady amount of traffic coming into what it is that you're doing. Now, help content can be looked at simply as the content that you put in front of people to solve their problem. So as an example, let's see if I made that slide or not. Yep. Okay, so as an example, if you're doing FBA as an example, because I know there's probably a big FBA crowd in here. If you're doing FBA, and let's say that you are selling iPhone cases as an example, it would be smart to make a channel about iPhone accessories, iPhone apps. You know, hey, this is everything about the iPhones, so that you can keep exposing people to your cases. Hey, you know, we just came out with a new case. This is what it is. We actually have it on the phone. We don't even mention it in this video, but we have it on the phone so that people will actually ask us about it, right? But in terms of the help content, you could leverage the term like iPhone accessories as an example and try to rank for that, or you can go more longer tail and you could go for something else to where you're just solving these different problems that people are having with iPhones in terms of the best apps to use, the best accessories for the iPhones, the best cases for the iPhones, or you know, something like that. Another thing that I want to really stress is that when you are, even if you already have a channel right now, especially if you're starting one, it's really important that you design your content into playlists, specifically series playlists. Basically what that means is instead of saying, okay, we're gonna make this video, we're gonna make this video, we're gonna make this video based on what people are searching for, you wanna say, okay, if I'm gonna do a channel about iPhones, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a top 5 apps playlist. And then in that particular playlist, these are the top 5 apps. I'm gonna make a video about each app, and then that would be one playlist, right? And in terms of YouTube, if you're not familiar, a playlist on the user side is just, you know, hey, these are my favorite videos, and you put them into that category. But on the creator side, you can use playlists strategically to generate binge watch sessions, which generates more watch time on your channel, which is ultimately the thing that YouTube rewards everybody for. They want watch time. That's what they care about, keeping people on the platform, watching videos for an extended period of time. Because of that, focusing everything it is that you're doing on generating watch time, basically you want to go for search and discovery, and you want to generate watch time. As long as you're doing those two things, then naturally your channel will progress, because those are two of the things. You want to basically be in front of people. You want to get discovered via search, via the search results, and then once they come to your video, you want to be able to keep them watching for a decent amount of time so that YouTube will actually promote your video internally in the platform. And then, of course, you also want to make sure that you're optimizing every single video for discovery. Because what happens is a lot of people and a lot of companies will put videos online and they'll say, as an example, there's probably, you know, vloggers in here. And instead of going for something that people are specifically searching for, you turn it more on yourself and you go for my trip to the mall or, you know, something like that. And what you're doing in that situation is you're limiting your reach. Because even if your YouTube channel is getting more traffic from suggested and browse features than anything else, which is in most cases what it usually ends up coming down to, you know, if you're still getting 30%, 40% from search, if you're not optimizing every video for search, then basically you're limiting your reach. So make sure that you, because all the other metrics are still gonna be in place, but if you optimize every video for search, you're never gonna miss an opportunity with your content. Now, I'm also gonna give you the YouTubing basics here, because I know, you know, I've been talking to people out in the lobby, and I know that, you know, there's a lot of people that are, you know, wanting to do YouTube. So I'm going to give you some basics here. The very first thing, and this is crucial. A lot of people think, hey, I need all of these fancy cameras. I need, you know, all this fancy stuff. I need all this. How am I possibly going to travel around as a nomad with all of this stuff in my backpack to make all of this work? Even though you can, the really easy way to get past that is to use the stuff that you have with you, which is your phone. Right? That's a really good way to get around that. So one thing as a nomad that is fantastic is this Nomad Kit. So this Nomad Kit is essentially how you can stabilize your footage, because stabilization is extremely important. So making sure that your footage is stable is crucial. The reason for that, and the reason that I'm stressing that, is because I have data that suggests that when you are making a video, and if it's a selfie video and it's somewhat stable, then people will typically stay on it. As soon as it starts going crazy, then people typically start to bail. And then what happens there is you're affecting your watch time and all of that, which is a negative in terms of your channel. So back on that Nomad Kit, the way that you get around that is you get a gimbal. You can use like a DJI Osmo. You can use a Smooth Q, which is like half the price. You can also use like a little Gorilla Grip, or you can just lean it on something. Grab a coconut, you know, throw it against a tree, lean your phone against it, and go that route, just so that you have something stable so that you can keep people on there. Another thing that I really want to recommend, and I can't stress this one enough either, is making sure that you have some type of microphone. And a lot of people will they'll get a microphone. Hey, this microphone's great, sounds great, and all the reviews and everything. But then what they do is they actually put it on top of the phone, and the phone, you know, is way over here, and they're back here, and they're recording their videos, and it sounds like garbage. So what you want to do, even if you have to carry an extra cable with you, is you want to do something to get that microphone closer to you and just keep it out of frame a little bit so that you can get good audio. Audio is half of the video experience. So it's really important that you make sure that you put out, I think that mic that I have in the picture right there, I think it might be $100, maybe 120. So it's worth it in terms of making your content effective, because if the audio is bad, people will leave. Another thing that's important is to make sure that you have enough light. And I know this sounds elementary, but I see tons of videos out there, some vloggers, but I see tons of videos out there to where people are making videos in their hotel rooms. And you know, there's no light coming in, and because of it, the footage is all grainy and it looks bad. People respond to quality. I call that visual authority, basically to where it's like, hey, this looks good, it must be good, right? Looks good, sounds good, it must be good. People respond for it. But the reason I was terrified is because I was afraid of what other people would think. I was afraid that people would see me and they would say like, oh, this guy's too old for YouTube, right? Or they would say, you know, hey, nice hairline, or, you know, they would say, you know, whatever it is that they would say. But I was so afraid of it that if you look in this picture, if you look around my eyes and all of that stuff, I was actually wearing makeup in this picture. And I was wearing makeup because the human side of myself that people actually connect to is something that I was ashamed of at the time. You know, hey, my skin's a little bit blotchy because I'm a human being, right? And I was afraid of people responding to that, so I was wearing makeup. But the reason I'm showing you this and the reason I'm telling you this is because this is usually the #1 hang-up that keeps people from getting on YouTube. Now, there are ways that you can make videos without having to show your face if that is something that bothers you or is something that you're worried about right now. But I really want to encourage you that you do not let camera shyness keep you from pursuing that, because YouTube can be an extremely powerful tool if you use it correctly. It can do wonders for your business, especially if you're somebody that offers any types of services. YouTube just by itself can be a gold mine. So please don't let that fear stop you from moving forward on it. So I'm going to give you some, we're running out of time here, so I'm going to kind of blaze through this one a little bit quickly. So I'm going to give you a few tips for using YouTube ads that people typically don't know about. The first one is that with the skippable ads, those are the annoying ads that play before a YouTube video plays. If somebody doesn't click on that or they don't watch that video for more than 30 seconds, then you're not actually charged for that ad. So if somebody doesn't interact with it, then you don't get charged for that ad. So if you think about that in terms of how you would structure your ad, you can actually spread a lot of awareness about what it is that you're doing, or about, you know, the products that you're selling or whatever, without even, you know, like for a really low cost is what I'm getting at. Because that first 30 seconds, who skips those ads pretty much every video you watch? Right. So because of that, you know, you can really leverage that in terms of letting people know what it is that you're doing in that first like 5, 10, 15 seconds, so that you can use that as a tool that you can leverage for the sake of awareness. On the cheap, they're really cheap. You can also target, and this is huge, and I'm going to give you an example of this, but you can also target specific channels and specific videos with your ads. Now, this gets really, really powerful depending on, of course, what it is that you're doing. An example of this that I like to use, I call it the Uscreen strategy, and basically what it is, I had this company called Uscreen reach out to me because my audience is content creators on YouTube, right? So this company reached out to me, and they did a sponsored video with me. It did really well. So they said, okay, we want to hire you to help us with ads, so that, you know, so because your video converted well, so we're going to see what we can do in terms of ads. So what we did is we sat down, we came up with a plan to basically target all of the other people in my space, in the YouTube help space, where they also had audiences of video creators, and we targeted specific videos on how to make money on YouTube. And the reason that we went after that term is because Uscreen is a platform where people can upload content and they can charge a monthly fee for it. So content creators are using this as an upsell, essentially, to where they can say, hey, this is the content that we have on YouTube, but if you want to go see some exclusive stuff and you want to support the channel and what it is that we're doing here, then you can support me on Uscreen, go over there and pay like 20 bucks a month or something like that in order to get access to all of that. So what we did is we made it to where, and we targeted specific channels and specific videos on how to make money on YouTube because it was a good fit. So with that, the video opens up and it's me, and I say, you're getting ready to watch a video by Roberto Blake because you want to know how to make money on YouTube, right? Like that was the intro. So basically, not only are we talking directly to the creator that they're used to watching anyway, but we're also talking directly to the term and the problem that they're having. So right out of the gate, we hooked them, right? And that campaign, because we structured it that way and we targeted those specific videos, was a humongous success for Uscreen. Now, I'm really, yeah, she keeps giving me the look. So here, we're going to go over working with influencers really quick because I know this is important to a lot of people. So, you know, if you don't want to do the brand channel, if you're thinking like, hey, that's not a great fit for my business because, you know, I'm Amazon FBA, I'm always changing stuff and things like that. I'm doing different types of products all the time. Influencers, in your particular case, is something that you really want to lean on. So, there we go. Yeah, we're missing one, but it's okay. So an influencer marketing essentially is, and take a picture of this also if, or take the notes of this, but influencer marketing is basically where you are leveraging the audience of a person instead of trying to reach out to a specific market, so to speak. So it can be extremely powerful. Like I was saying, Uscreen leveraged me to generate sales. They sponsored a video. They leveraged me to generate sales to what it is that they're doing. TubeBuddy sponsored me because I'm a great fit for their audience. So they're leveraging me and what it is that I do in order to drive sales and installs into what it is that they're doing. So if you are interested in working with influencers, there's a company called FameBit. It's actually owned by YouTube now. FameBit, because you can do this a few different ways. You can be on the grind all the time trying to reach out, hey, I'm going to send these people an email, try to get them on Twitter and all of that. Or you can back off, you can make a posting on FameBit, and then the creators will actually submit all of their proposals to you. So that kind of reverses things a little bit. You basically make a post there and you say, this is what we're looking for, we're accepting proposals for it, this is the type of audience we're looking for, and then you'll get flooded with offers from other content creators trying to work with you. Another place for that is Grapevine Logic. With Grapevine Logic, same idea, but they are not, they're not as big as FameBit. So you don't have as much competition, and if you use Grapevine Logic, in some cases you can actually lower your costs as well because there's not as much competition, there's not as many people throwing dollars around as there are in FameBit. Socialblade.com is another place. They also give you access if you create an account there. They'll also give you demographic access, which the other two don't unless it's submitted. But they'll give you demographic access. They'll also give you engagement metrics as well, so you can make sure that the people that you're working with actually have an engaged audience instead of just big numbers. Of course, the About Me page, you can send a business inquiry email there, or you can send a direct message inside of YouTube. MCNs, multi-channel networks, with those, basically they are an agent of sorts for a bunch of different channels. So you can work with them directly to where you can do your spend with them, and then they will distribute that through a handful of creators that you or they think are the best. And then, of course, this is really important, and this can save you a lot of money and really up your conversions if you do this right. So there's a company called Socialblade.com. If you are going to work with influencers in any capacity, go to their Socialblade. Oh, this one's gone. This one's really important too. I don't know if you can get it up there or not. But yeah, go to socialblade.com, and I'll just tell you what to do since it's not coming up on the screen. But you want to go to socialblade.com, and what you want to do is you want to say, okay, this particular channel, they have big numbers, right? They have, you know, X amount of subscribers, they're getting all these views, but do the people that are watching their content care, right? So you want to start with the numbers. Okay, are they still growing? Socialblade's going to tell you, and it's free. Socialblade's going to tell you if they're growing or not because you can look at their stats. Hey, how are they doing in the future? How are they doing now? What's the trajectory on this channel? Which can also be extremely valuable for you because if you see a channel taking off, then you can say, okay, well, we're going to have them do this now so that as their channel grows, people are constantly going to be going back and watching these older videos as well, so I can really get more bang for my buck doing it that way. But you want to use Socialblade for that, and then once you find influencer on Socialblade that you want to work with, then what you want to do is you actually want to go to their YouTube channel. And this part is extremely important. Please make sure that you take a note of this. You want to go to their YouTube channel, and you want to watch their last like 10 to 15 videos. And in those last 10 to 15 videos, you want to say, are people engaging here? Are people leaving comments? Are they liking? Like how are people actually interacting with this content? Because you can have a bunch of views on a video, but if nobody is leaving comments, nobody's interacting with those videos in any way, then what that tells you is that people don't care about what that specific creator or that specific channel is doing, which means that when they recommend your products, that they're going to be less likely to go and pick up whatever it is that you're doing. And the more engaged the audience is, the better your conversions are going to be because the people are actually engaged in what that creator is doing. So yeah, I think that's it. And then I had another slide that had a big thing with a start now on here and then my social media stuff. But I would like to encourage you, I'll close this out by saying that I would like to encourage everybody here that if you are considering starting a YouTube channel, don't hesitate, because the video content by itself, if you archive the content, not only can you put it on YouTube, but you can also use it across other platforms as well. If something does happen to YouTube in the future, you still have this big archive of content that you can put on any platform that happens to come up. But I really recommend leveraging YouTube and, more importantly, video for your business to get more exposure and to get more traffic and everything for what it is that you're doing. And a challenge that I have for you, because like I said before, I've got 100 and something thousand subscribers on my channel. That also gives me access to something called a community feed, which is pretty valuable. So if anybody starts a channel for your brand, your product, whatever it is that you're doing, anytime this week, and you send me through my website, nicknimmin.com, or come to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/nicknimmin. If you send me, and I can see, hey, they started it, within this week, and then they made 10 videos about their product or whatever, and you're trying to make that effort to do this on YouTube, I'll put you in my community feed, and I'll probably even maybe mention you in a video or something like that, just for the sake of encouragement, so that you can get over that hump, so that you can get started, so that you can actually start leveraging YouTube for your business. Q&A.
Right, guys, we've only got time for 2 questions, unfortunately, so take one here.
I was just curious, you do this Nimmin live video podcast, whatever it is.
It's a live stream.
Every
Saturday. Yeah, every Saturday. Tonight, actually.
How did you get TubeBuddy to sponsor that or be involved?
Yeah, with TubeBuddy, I actually, because I already had a working relationship with them specifically. So with TubeBuddy, I reached out to them. I said, hey, I'm going to start shopping around for sponsors. So I'm going to give you guys first bid if you guys want to do it, right? And they're like, yeah, we'll do it, okay? But a typical way that you do that is, one, you can go through something like FameBid. But if you actually want to get like a real sponsorship, the best way to do it is just send emails. Make yourself a media kit. That says, hey, these are my demographics, these are the typical views I get, this is my engagement and all of that. Make a media kit and then just start sending out emails just like you would in any sales process where you're trying to generate leads, follow through, and then get the deal, right? Same idea.
Hi.
Hey.
So one of the things that you mentioned was in terms of measuring engagement, which is comments. Is there any other factors of being able to justify investing within a YouTuber or a content creator apart from comments as a way of engagement? Or is there other metrics that you look at as well?
Yeah, technically, of course, any engagement, likes, things like that. Like the disadvantage that you have from looking at a channel from the outside is the only real things that you can get is what's happening in their comment section, how are people liking, disliking, and if you use a plugin like TubeBuddy or vidIQ as an example, if you plug those in, if you use the free versions, you don't have to use the paid versions, but you'll see the video. And then in the sidebar on the right, they'll actually show you, hey, this is how many shares this video's had and things like that. So you can also use those tools to give you more metrics on how people are interacting. But of course, comments are the big one because it's easy to like something. Like, done, I'm out of here, right? But when it comes to leaving a comment, there's actually thought involved. Hey, I got to think of something to say. Or, like I'm putting in a little bit more effort when I'm typing something out instead of just clicking a button and getting out of there, right?
I think we're going to have to wrap it up there. Nick, obviously there's people that haven't had questions answered here.
Yeah.
What's the best way to get in contact with you, the questions after after today?
Sure. Best way to get in contact with me, one, I'll be hanging around the conference. Two, is my website, nicknimmin.com, nicknimmin.com, and my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ oh, there it is, right there, boom, youtube.com/nicknimmin. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. And again, I also want to mention, you know, because we did that thing with Rob earlier, I also want to mention that he is actually also the reason that I'm standing on this stage right now because, you know, like I've been in Thailand for 11 years, Chiang Mai for 7, and Rob actually kind of pulled me out of my hole, so to speak, because I was just kind of, you know, doing my own thing, you know, working my own thing and all of that. But Rob saw on one of my YouTube videos that I was in Chiang Mai, and he reached out to me, and he's actually brought me into this whole digital nomad community, and I just want to say that you guys are absolutely fantastic, and I love just being, you know, able to stand up here and talk to you guys, so thank you for that.
Thank you, buddy.